Good morning and welcome to the morning show with Angel and Tina. Tina, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It is February 1st, new month, new goals, new stuff to conquer this month. How many of you guys said, oh my gosh, January is over? What happened?
Me. Yeah.
Wait, what happened to January?
Yeah, it's been crazy. We blinked and January flew by. Of course, we've had a lot of things keeping us distracted and moving along. But Tina's got her February nail manicure. Look at this. How cute is it?
I have my little
heart
nails going on.
Aww.
Little heart right there. My nail girl rocks it out. When I come in, she's like, do you have, and they're like Valentine's nails. She's like, do you have anything in particular? And yesterday I was just like, no, I don't have nothing. She goes, I have an idea. And she started it. And then the lady here and the lady here, both were like this. I want what she has. I
want that. I'll have what she's having.
Yeah. And then the lady goes, I want that color too. And she goes, to every single time I go in there, that's what happens. They're like, can I take a picture of your nails? Can you do my nails like this? Because I always have
she's definitely
designer nails, apparently.
Well, welcome, Joy, to our show this morning. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for the invite. I love laughter and I love having a good time and meeting new people. So it's great to be with you. And I love stories. The nail story is a good one.
It is. Joy, where are you coming from this morning?
I'm coming from the lovely Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Port St. Lucie?
Port St. Lucie. What is so crazy about Port St. Lucie for me is I've been there. I've been there 3 times to stop for coffee off the interstate. Like that is
Port St. Lucie is the coffee city?
Apparently.
And right? I have not been there.
It's so a year ago, I was telling this to the gals, like a year ago, my husband and I had taken the marketers cruise and it got off in Fort Lauderdale and we rented a car to drive from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando. And we stopped in Port St. Lucie for coffee. Now, I would not have remembered that. Like that should not have been significant.
Is that a certain coffee shop or is
no? It was just the Starbucks along the way, right? It was just
Starbucks. Okay.
Yes, right. And so then 2 weekends ago, we were driving from Orlando down to the Florida Keys and stopped for coffee. And where's the closest coffee shop, right? And we pull off and I was thinking, do all exits look like this? Like this looks so familiar to me.
Every exit in Florida off the turnpike has to look like this.
You have to go.
Starbucks has to be on the right side.
Around, like you have to get in that little toll booth and they like all wiggle you around into that toll booth. And I'm like, do they all look like this? And then I was like, this is the exact same coffee shop that we stopped in a year before. And so, Joy, I know where you live.
Well, good enough. I tell you what's good. I like what Tina is saying. How is the coffee stop, Florida, in Port St. Lucie? Right? Actually, we have 5 Starbucks, and they're all more or less, you can access them from I-95. So it's easy to access and to get to them. And most people who are coming back from a cruise, as Angel was, they're able to get access to one ASAP. So it's a good location.
I might have to go down to Florida and try this out because I am a Starbucks addict.
Well, you need to move because you're in the kidney stone capital of the world.
Okay. So with that being said, like 2 weeks or was it last week? Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was just last week. Okay. So last week I was in excruciating pain. Like I literally thought I was going to die. Something was going on. They thought my appendix burst. They were about to take me into emergency surgery. And then they did a CT scan and they're like, it is a kidney stone. So they had to give me like 3 different rounds of pain medication because I was screaming so loud. I can take pain pretty good, but if you guys would have seen me here in North Carolina, you would have not recognized me. My hair was all messed up. I had no makeup on. I had a hoodie on. I didn't care. I was screaming. I probably woke up the whole entire hospital. But 9 years ago, my parents moved here 9 years ago. And then my mom started getting kidney stones. Well, when I moved here 2 years ago, now this is my first kidney stone ever. So for those
you've lived there now 2 years.
Area, I looked it up. Lake Norman has one of the highest kidney stone, what do you call it?
I don't know, issues.
Must be something in the water.
In the United States.
Yeah, it's something in the water. It's definitely something in the water.
I gotta move.
You have to move to St. Lucie.
I'm gonna have to cross the street from Starbucks.
You are definitely gonna have to.
That's
Okay.
one of the benefits for being an empty nester and being single. You can just pick up and go.
You can pick up and go, and you can build your business from anywhere, Tina.
Sure
from anywhere. Okay, well, you were talking about being an influencer at the nail salon. I have to give just a little shout out to my friend Warren Carlisle, who runs Octonation, the world's largest online octopus fan club. He is an expert at helping people build online communities. And he got the attention of Facebook. You know how Facebook is all about the groups and building online communities. And they made this shift a couple years ago. And they reached out to Warren and said, we like what you're doing. We're watching you. Like, we see the engagement. We see the results. So we want to do a special feature on Octonation. This is amazing, Tina. This is amazing. They call him.
I follow Shailene Johnson, and Shailene Johnson got this big old huge octopus in the mail, right? And I'm going through her Instagram and I go back and she goes, I just got this octopus from my good friend Warren. I was like, oh my God, I know him.
Yeah. All the online community builders and Warren, they're like BFF. Yeah. So Facebook, like, you know, the iconic Facebook logo, right? Yes. You know, if you look at your Facebook, the little blue circle, right? It's iconic.
You got it.
They created this logo
to feature
Octonation.
Like Warren.
Yeah, they took his and merged it, like one of the world's most well-known iconic images, and said, we want to feature you. And then they did a whole thing on Octonation, and you can see they had, these are just pictures I took of the screen on my phone, right? They're not like great, but they were featuring him. They had
last year we had Warren Carlisle on our show talking about Octonation and how he came about, how he started it.
Look at this new little mug. He's got a whole new merchandise series. But they did an online streaming production, like a 3-part online streaming production. They had a camera crew in Monterey Bay, at the aquarium in Monterey Bay, his apartment, and then wherever, like the behind the scenes. And it was like this, and he got, so
way to
Warren
go.
Carlisle. I want to say cheers to my influencer friend, Warren. Check out Octonation.
I have an Octonation mug, Warren.
Yeah, online. So who is this? This is Quad Shot Quinn. He's like pouring himself 4 quads.
Oh, he has names for all his octopuses?
Yeah, he does. And all the storylines.
Okay, we said this last year. Is it octopi?
It's whatever you want it to be.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Right? It's whatever you want it to be. So so I just want to say cheers. I adore you, Warren. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you. Like, I remember meeting Warren, and I wish he was here. I reached out to him this morning. I'm like, hey, I'm going to talk about you this morning. You want to pop on? But I haven't heard back from him. But he, I remember when he met him, I'm like, what do you do? He's like, I run an octopus fan club. And I thought, well, that's unusual, right? Like, is that a thing? But he is like one of my most favorite people in the whole wide world, just one of the kindest people. And he's all about building relationships, Tina. Like, this is online communities and online relationships, and how do you do that in this virtual space and in this virtual world? And the company that has the platform to create online engagement is reaching out to him, asking him, how do we do this better?
Last year, he said Facebook reached out to him and he got invited to go to Facebook headquarters.
Yep. Yeah. So they are asking him, how do we do this better? So if you want to know, like, if you've loved some of the improvements and some of the changes, right? Like, that is, Warren's got his fingerprint on it. And if you hate it, that wasn't Warren. Right? like Warren had nothing to do with any of the stuff that you might not like. I promise you. He's like, I didn't teach him that. That wasn't me. Right. I'll even have sometimes I'll have a client who does something like marketing wise. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't teach them that. I'm like, Angel, isn't this your client? I'm like, yeah, I didn't teach them that.
We say that often. Like, we're like, yeah, we didn't teach them that.
I didn't teach them that. Right? If you love it, yes. If you don't, yeah, no, they're going rogue. Well, Joy, we're so excited to have you joining us this morning from Port Lucie, my favorite coffee stop shop
Port
off the Florida
St. Lucie.
Turnpike.
And you even know the exit number.
No, it's good to be here. And as I said when we opened up, I love laughter. Laughter is not in my DNA, or it's part of my DNA, but I didn't get that gene, but I love laughter. And this is fun.
What do you mean you didn't get that gene? What does that mean?
So now I want to go and investigate and explore and find out more about this Octo Nation. It's fun.
Okay, so what do you mean about you didn't get the laughter gene?
Well, I mean that laughter and humor and jokes, it's part of my family DNA on my mom and dad's side, but I got the serious gene. I'm slowly backing away and embracing the laughter gene and being, my husband said to me, don't ever try to be funny because you're not funny.
Okay, Joy, my roommate is the same way. I'll go and tell her a joke and she goes, I don't get it. And I'm like, just get it.
Well, the opposite
like
for me
an
when I
hour
started.
later, she'll be like, oh. It
Well,
already
for me, Tina, it's the opposite. When I start, or when I used to, I don't do it anymore. I start to tell a joke because I love to laugh. I would start laughing before I finished the joke. So by the time I got to the end of the joke, people would be looking and say, well, what's the end result? Where is the
Yeah, I can never tell. Like you hear a joke sometimes and like you want to retell a joke you've heard. Yeah, I'm never like I'm with you, Joy. Like not my thing, not my skill set right there.
Yeah,
But
I
I
love
love
it.
laughing.
Me
And I
too.
love people who have this sense of humor. My son used to watch and listen to comedians like on tape and watch his videos like when he was growing up. And and then of course when Netflix started, we would find like all these little comedian episodes and shows, and he has almost like a photographic memory, so he would hear these skits, right?
And he would say them.
He would repeat them verbatim. So we'd go out to dinner, you're waiting for your table, you're waiting to, you place your order, you're waiting for your dinner to be served, and he would just regale us like word for word on these comedic skits. And yeah, he's so fun. Yeah, I just love it.
That is how I've been doing. I told you guys a couple weeks ago that I started getting on TikTok, and when you're laying in bed and you're bored or whatever and you're scrolling through TikTok, I'm in here laughing my head off. And my roommate comes and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm cracking up, like cracking up because of the things that they do on TikTok. It is the most funniest. If you are in a bad mood or sad, get on TikTok and start scrolling because these things are the most hilarious little skits ever. But I'm in here like just cracking up.
It is funny, right? When you're like trying to listen to something that's funny and you're all by yourself, like maybe you got your headphones in or something, and somebody in the other room is like, okay, what is going on in there?
And I'm like, huh?
What is going on in there?
You're in here just cracking up.
All right. Well, okay. So we are already 1 month into the year. Yeah. 1 month into the year. House update.
Oh.
We are getting our closing within the week. We should get a notification today with our closing schedule, right? Time to show up within the week. So sometime between today and next Monday, we are finally closing on Dream House.
Okay, so this has been and it's 11/11, Angel. Manifest that baby.
Woo! I'm close tomorrow.
Right. Tomorrow. This has been a 6-month process. And I have been so honored and blessed that I was like right there in the passenger, well, and maybe in the back seat, watching all of this happen. I was gonna say passenger seat, but maybe in the back seat. You told me we're on our way to Florida. I found this, and I got this big old idea. I gotta tell you. And then on the way back, so I got something to tell you. What? We are selling our house. What? She's like, yep, we're putting our house on the market tomorrow. We want to move to Florida. I'm like, oh wow. Monday comes, we sold our house. I was like, what? Like, it was just like one after another, like every single day. I'm like, okay, what happened now?
It was like we got out of Colorado so fast we saw the house, saw the dream house in Orlando, put our house on the market, sold our house, like closed on our house. Like it all happened so fast. And it was just like boom, boom, boom. And then we got to Orlando and it was like,
yeah,
the brakes were put on for a few months. But from the time we saw the house to the time we closed in the house, it'll be a 6-month journey.
But I told her, I said, this needs to be your next book, like Walk by Faith or something like that, because of the journey it took and the faith, like big, huge things were like stopping her from buying this house. And she was like, it's okay. God's going to handle it. God's going to do what he needs to do. And then the next day she goes, guess what happened? I'm like, can you say something for me here? Because you have like a direct connection to him. Like, can you hook me up? Because I feel like I have to go through all these tunnels. But it's so amazing to watch and I'm so excited. But this weekend, you have a big weekend this weekend too.
I know. So here was something crazy, right? We do our Media Mastery Boot Camp 3 times a year. And our first one is scheduled for February. And when we were moving and all of this, those two things, moving and boot camp, were never close to each other, like never going to collide. We were either going to close.
You were supposed to close in December.
And then we were going to close in January. And then if we didn't hit any of those, it was likely to close the end of March.
Yeah.
So easy peasy, no problem. Boot camp beginning of February.
Like, you want to close on Friday?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he did. He asked us if we wanted to close. I'm like, yeah, Friday's Media Mastery Boot Camp. So we're figuring all that out. But yeah, so that's our little update. You guys will have all been following.
Everybody wants to know what Media Mastery is. So Angel, let us know what Media Mastery is.
Yes.
Media Mastery, right, is our 3-day comprehensive boot camp, the most comprehensive boot camp to help you to create more media exposure, get booked on media platforms using what we call OPA, other people's audiences, but we create all of your media assets during the boot camp. So you walk out with your crafted media story, like why you, why now, what's the big idea? How do you monetize that? Publish your book that's going to get those hot leads into your sales castle. We teach you the sales castle revenue formula. I mean, it's 3 days of we get down and dirty, nitty gritty, and it starts on Friday. I did just post, right? So we have our, if you're part of Media Mastery, right, your tickets included in your Media Mastery package. Tickets to the boot camp are $1,500, but you can bring a friend. I put a promo code in our Media Mastery Facebook group. And you can bring a friend for $500. Like they can save $1,000 off their Media Mastery ticket.
And let me tell you, for those of you guys who have been following me this last year, you know that I launched my first book March 17th and hit bestseller because of Angel. I launched my second book December 30th. It hit bestseller because of Angel. I have been speaking on, I think it's probably 126 stages this year or last year. We started the morning talk show. I've had numerous press releases. Over 176 channels picked me up my first press release out the door. So now I get to put on that Tina was featured on ABC and CBS and NBC and ABC and Fox and again, not just once, but over and over. And we teach you how, like, it's not just not to manipulate algorithms, right? Not to just have it, but actually create momentum and to monetize that and to create a sustainable business. You go out of there with a media sheet. Like when I send my media sheet to people, they're like, can you send me your bio and your headshot? I send them my bio and my media sheet and they're like, what is this? I'm like, oh, that's my Media One sheet. It has my bio and questions to ask me and, you know, my speaker intro. And they're like, oh, how did you do this? Like people are like flabbergasted. But another thing that's coming up this weekend is the Super Bowl.
I know. I went to the grocery store and they had like football cakes and stuff like that. I'm like, is that this weekend? Joy, do you follow football?
Sunday.
Joy, do you follow football?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Who's playing in the Super Bowl?
I'm not a sports person at all. I
Yeah,
love basketball,
the Kansas
tennis,
City
and
Chiefs
golf.
and the Buccaneers are playing.
really?
I know who's playing because my hubby is a football fanatic. He's a numbnut when it comes to football.
And I had to look that up, FYI. I would have not known that.
I don't think I watched a single football game this season.
I haven't either.
I mean, we used to. I mean, we were pretty big Bronco fans, right? And football's a big deal in Colorado. But I don't think I watched a single game at all.
It's big everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So, I don't
have a boyfriend or
the
a
kickoff,
husband, so I don't have to watch.
I think the kickoff is what, 7 p.m.
Oh, okay. So that's good.
Yeah. So Media Mastery will be done. It doesn't conflict at all with watching the Super Bowl. So y'all can come to Media Mastery, and you can bring a friend. I gave you a special promo code, so you can bring a friend with you to Media Mastery. Well, let's get to know Joy a little bit more officially. She's a style and leadership coach, signature style specialist, and professional speaker. She says it's time for all of us women to bring our heart-centered leadership to the forefront, stand in our innate power and greatness, show up and stand out, showcasing the love, the grace, and the beauty of who we are at our core. She's creating a movement back to our true femininity, sexuality, and sensuality. It's time for us to own ourselves, body, mind, and spirit. The soul of who we are is asking for us to step up to be the essence of who we are to be, to seek out the leaders who are working in their purpose. Those are some pretty powerful words, Miss Joy.
Well. You could read that again. It sounds good.
Heck, I want to beat that woman.
Who is that?
Okay, so how did you become like give us a little background on your journey, Joy, how you came to be here?
Well, I will, and I'd love to. I'll be as succinct as I can. But the bottom line for me, it's totally not about fashion. That's what I want to leave you with right off the bat. Fashion is fun, but what's more fun and what's more endearing, where you have more impact and you make a more commanding presence with your confidence in who you are, is when you are aware and you know how to present and project your own signature style. And I say that because as a young girl in the deep South, which is where my sister and I were sent when my mom and dad separated, and I was an angry little brat. I was a spoiled brat too. I was a daddy's little girl. And I went into this deep South where my mother's parents were grandparents, which were Native American, Indian, African. And then when we did our background check, we found out it was Irish, Russian, and German. What a combination, right? But here's how I come to do what I do. When we were there, Sunday was a day to go and praise the Lord. Monday through Friday was work sun up to sundown. But Sunday, the women and the men, but the women were the ones that I connected with, would get up and they would get ready to get out. There you go, Tina, and to go and praise the Lord. And they would dress in their Sunday best. And I would sit on the sidelines and watch. It was like a Broadway show. And all of these women
watching the fashion show. Can we get there early? Because I want to watch
Exactly. And then they would strut into the church like the queens that they were. And I'm sitting there and I'm amazed and I'm absolutely in love and my mouth is hanging on. I'm just excited to see them from the transformation that was made. So then the short of the story is, this was to be a 3-month hiatus in the Deep South with my mother's parents while my mom and dad separated. It turned out to be 3 years. So by the time we got back to what they call up north, and I was enrolled in school, my home economics teacher came over and she put her hands on her hips and she said, "Joy, you are a natural at this. You are so good. There's just something there. You would make a great fashion designer." And that was the seed of my beginning, because I was on my way, Tina, Angel, to being the worst juvenile delinquent you'd ever seen. Because I was mad, I was angry, I was devastated. I blamed my mom.
You had all those angered nationalities in there. They got the German.
I never thought of it that way, but
how old were you? How old were you when this?
So that was the beginning. But while at the Fashion Institute of Technology, here was my seed. I learned that as much as we all love women, we do. We like pretty, we like new, we like trendy, we like popular, we like to be in, we want to be admired and looked upon and so on. But hot, sexy, and all of that, your femininity and your sexuality and your sensuality, it's not about the clothes that you're wearing. It's about how you present and style yourself. So that's where I've come to what I do now. I hope that answers the question as succinctly as I can. There's so much more.
Okay, so now when you're working with your clients, it is so, you know, how much of it is actually in the closet and in the stores, and what other things do you take them through?
Well, women come to me who want to amp up their wow factor. I mean, they're twirling in that closet, and these are courageous women. I work with women who are eagles who say, you know what, I'm in the professional business world, I'm a pro, I'm entrepreneurial, and yet I go out and I'm doing a lot of networking, corporate meetings, and something is amiss here, something's not right. And they want to know what that is. So when I work with them, I have 5 key elements that I go over with them by the time they leave. And I have assembled what I call the joy code. And that gives them the insight and the awareness to all the things that they need to know so that they can always stand in their greatness. I love Les Brown. Stand in your greatness, stand in your power, and don't be afraid of it. And it's your sexuality, your sensuality, and your femininity will come through in how you project and what you present. And that's it.
I think that was a quote that Les, when he was on our show last year, he quoted that. I love that you talk about fashion and sense, because, you know, I'm fashionista myself.
Most women are.
You know, nobody knows this, but in high school, when they used to always say, you know, what do you want to do when you grow up? I wanted to be a fashion designer.
Well, here's the thing. Let's talk about women, because here are the women that I'm interested in working with, women. And I work with women who are in their second act, second chapter, midlife. And I'm talking regardless of age. But we're not taught really how to exhibit and showcase our bodies in the best way with the highest regard and respect. We're just not taught that. We're taught the pretty, the new, the trendy, whatever's in, we have to have it regardless of whether it's ours or not. And that's where all of us go, myself included. So up until I had my awakening.
You know, I remember being in some different situations, Joy, where oftentimes you're the only woman at the table. I was in broadcasting, right? You know, some different high level meetings, and I'm oftentimes the only woman. And to embrace my femininity, I am a girly girl, right? I like to wear dresses, and I like to be feminine, and to even embrace our femininity. I think a lot of times we feel like we had to be a little bit more masculine, right? To show up in the corporate world and to be taken seriously. And I always wanted, I was like, I don't remember, I'm sure there was somebody that inspired me, but I can't pinpoint who it was. But I'm like, I want to wear dresses, and I want to be pretty, and I want to feel pretty, because that's important to me, but that doesn't negate what I contribute corporately to this group, right? I worked for the PGA for many years, and then I was in broadcasting, and so it's a lot of it was like the boys club, like the boys group. And then even when I was public speaking, I was oftentimes the only woman.
You were. And
one of the few women
out there. Angel, you make me think about when I was in the corporate world. I was the only female in that industry. And I remember having a meeting, and they were like, everybody needs to wear suit and tie, and, you got to be dressed. And I'm sitting there going,
I don't think so.
I'm not a suit type of person. And so I go, do I have to wear like suit tie type of thing? And they're like, no, Tina, you can dress just the way you are. We have gotten so many people who say, we just love Tina and the way she looks and the way she is. She's so fun, her fashion, her nail. I was like, my customers are giving me reviews on if you go to Atlanta, Georgia, and you look up Verizon, it'll be like, I just love Tina, her nails, her shoes, the way she dresses.
It's all about her dress. Even the baristas, like Tina goes to the coffee shop, and the baristas want to take pictures of her because of how she dresses.
It was just that one time, because
was she one time? She knows how to dress
I go
herself.
into the Starbucks line and I have like my pink furry jacket on. I had pink nails. I had my pink shades on. I don't even think I had a hat or anything like that on, and I ordered a pink drink. And I drive
She was like a ball of cotton candy.
Right.
So Joy, what are some of the things that you see women doing? Or what is like some of the, like, you know, after you've been in this industry for so long, we all think we're so unique, right? I'm a unique case, but you see trends.
Everyone is.
And so what are some of the trends? Like when you start working with somebody, you're like, we start here because this is always a something.
Well, first off, I don't work with trends. I don't really believe in trends. I work with the individual. I work with their body shape. I work with their color palette. I work with their lifestyle, the work that they're doing, and then the best styles, the preferences that work for them. What we must never forget, what you spoke to earlier, Angela, I wanted to piggyback on. You said that you couldn't remember something about the name of someone who said, one of my many mentors, Maya Angelou, said, oftentimes you will remember what someone, not what they said to you and what they look like or their name, but you will remember how they made you feel. Yeah. So how you feel and how you show up. Tina has spoke to her girly girl kind of persona. That's her. So to take her and make her into a casual tomboyish kind of look or corporate business would never play for her. But yet, if you're in the business corporate arena, then you learn how to take your girly girl and make it fit for that particular time frame that you're in that corporate setting. And these are the things that we are not taught. So trends are always good, like whether it's plaid or it's leather or whatever it is. If that doesn't fit your personality, your persona, your body shape, and your lifestyle, then that's not something that you need. Trends are good. Fashion is fun, but it's still dominated and it's still ruled by men. Now listen, we all love our men. I have the best hubby in the world for me, and I'm sure you as well. So I'm not negating or denying or dismissing men, but yet we as women have to get more in sync and in tune with what's innately best for us and project that.
I love that. I love that. Well, we have Joy here today talking about fashion and fun and how to be a fashionista, even in a man's world. We have to take a commercial break, but we will be right back.
Yay.
We are super excited to let you know about our sponsors of the Angel and Tina Morning Show. I did just get a text reply from Warren. We had reached out to him to see if he wanted to pop in this morning and talk about his great event that he did with Facebook over the weekend. But he did say that if you wanted to check out all of his new Octo merchandise, you can find it at octomerch.com, OCTO merch.com. So that was, my fabulous little quad shot Quinn octopus. So, okay. Morning show brought to you by Zandra TV Network, digitally streamed on all those fabulous digital streaming networks. When I started on media, it was all about, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, right? But now those premier logos you want to be featured and seen on are Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, Android, and more. You can host your own TV show if you've ever thought about it. You've got content, you do a podcast, schedule a discovery call with beonztv.com and see if digital streaming and hosting your own TV show is the right next step for you. And of course, grab the Angel and Tina Morning Show wherever you love to watch your favorite programs and streaming networks. Bliss by the Lake Boutique is our clothing sponsor. They get fresh inventory in every single week, really fabulous stuff. They ship all over the globe. Follow them on social media, Bliss by the Lake Boutique. And Sonic VA is your video assistant. We're taking our videos up a notch, right? You spend all this time creating raw content, and then you're editing and you're posting and you're like putting it all together. Well, don't hire that piece out with Sonic VA. Go to sonicva.com/video. And when you mention the Angel and Tina Morning Show, they are going to give you a 10% discount off your first 5 videos. All 5 videos, 10% discount on when you mention the Angel and Tina Morning Show. Make sure that you are dominating and crushing YouTube with your really up-leveled videos. We want to up-level in 2021, up-level your videos, and use sonicva.com in order to do that. So thank you so much to our sponsors. Thank you so much to Joy for being here. All right, so Joy, what are you, like, what's coming up? What are you most excited about for 2021?
I'm just excited that we are still here and the majority of us are keeping our spirits high and optimistic about the future and the vaccine that hopefully by midsummer we'll all have. I'm optimistic that those who have not been able to find the type of work that they want will consider coming onto a platform that we are on here today, because many men and women who lost their jobs are thinking about, what can I do online? What can I do in the computer world? And so I'm hopeful that many of them will find entree into this arena to dance with us. So I'm just an optimistic person anyway. My glass is always half full. I take the high road. That's just my DNA. So.
Well, you are right good with all of our guests here on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, because that's what we do here on the show. We bring that positivity, we bring that bright start to your day.
Yes.
So Joy, right now, a lot of us aren't getting out. Right? We're at home, we're wearing our yoga pants. I've had 5 pairs of yoga pants or stretch pants or whatever, right? But
Are they starting to fade?
Rotated through. Oh my gosh, you should see how scrappy they look at
on the very bottom, because I'm not wearing shoes. And so I guess they're scraping. Right, because so starting to fray.
They're so frayed on the hem now, right? And I've just pretty much rotated them through for a year. They're elastic. I haven't worn real pants. How have you shifted, or how have your clients shifted? Or are you doing like above the keyboard fashion, or changing things, or are you working with their Zoom backgrounds or anything like that?
I love this question for numerous reasons, and it's a 3-way type question. First off, when you are working, this is my outlook, and I attempt to share and impact others with this. When you are working with the public, whether it's in this box, in person, or one-on-one in another environment, you show up as your best self, however you would if you were going to be meeting them in person. So that means that you dress. Now, whether you have on shoes or not, that's kind of irrelevant. But your top, your bottom should be intact, and you should be intact.
Okay, so let me ask you, Joy, what are you wearing on your bottom half?
I have on a straight leg slack, black slacks.
Really? You actually have on slacks?
I don't have on slacks.
I'm impressed.
And I think if you wanted to have something else, that would be fine. I think it's up to the individual. It all depends on you. When you feel and you look and you feel, when you feel good, you look good. When you look good, you feel good 90% of the time. There are always variables. But so it's different for everybody. But most people are dressing here from the waist up and whatever it is that they're wearing, and they're making sure that they present themselves in the best way. And I think that's admirable. I think that's good. Yes. How about you? Are you dressing differently now from when you were going out and networking with people?
Oh, night and day, Joy, night and day. I always wore dresses. I always wore high heels, always wore jewelry and accessories. And I have just found that I've just slowly, I haven't worn earrings, right?
I took her wedding ring off and now have like a little plastic one.
I have this little silicone, little rubber, I mean, it has just completely swung the pendulum, right? Because
let me ask you why. Why?
Because I'm sitting all day long, right? I'm not standing, I'm not walking around, I'm not presenting, I'm sitting in this chair. And so I needed to be comfortable. Yeah. And so it was really, I just switched over to, I think just more comfort.
So you were dressing for the event that you were going out to and not necessarily for yourself.
Yeah, I probably. Yeah, right?
I think the majority of us do that.
Yeah. I do now, look, I'm wearing my Disney sweatshirt, right? I've got my yoga clothes on.
You're a Disney girl. That's who you are. Half your wardrobe is Disney.
I do. I have
love Mickey and Minnie.
I do. And so I think there's also been a little bit, just a little bit more grace too. I wouldn't show up in a t-shirt normally, right? But everybody knows we are all working from home. There's no secret to where we are all broadcasting from, regardless of our backdrops. We all know you are, it's in the corner of your bedroom, right? Or you were just in the kitchen, or we all know. And so I think the pretense of hey, I've been out and about all day is gone. So we don't really I have to like put on the dog and pony show. Does that make sense?
I do the same thing because I thought I always dress for myself, but I think I dress for other people because I'm a shoe person. As you know, I have like 200 pairs of shoes. And I'm a heel person. Like I can wear 4-inch heels and then I can go and rock Timberlands and sneaks, really quickly. But I have not worn my shoes in a year. When I do put them on, they're like sneakers. And I'm like, slipping them on really quickly and taking them off as immediately.
I know, because I'm not wearing shoes. Joy, when we moved out of our house in Colorado, I gave away almost, hide your ears, cover your ears, Tina, because this makes her very sad. I gave away all my platform heels because I thought I have not worn them in a year. I tried to wear a pair out to dinner and I felt like I was wearing mom's high heel shoes. Like I had totally untrained.
He was walking around like clunk, 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 clunk.
Like,
well, you know what? Here's what's fascinating with what you, Angel, I adore you both for numerous reasons. I'm a perennial student everywhere I go. Tina said, well, I guess I do dress for myself rather than other people. The reality is why I started this is because that Sunday analogy that I gave you about the Deep South and the women getting ready to dress and go to church. Well, the other part that I didn't tell you, and this is why casual has become so paramount in the whole universe now, is because when these women would come home, off would go everything, and they would go around in those moo wild, big, huge tents. Everything that was flowing, everything was hanging and dropped, and so because they were comfortable. And they were not comfortable in dressing to go and praise the Lord, but yet they wanted to present themselves and be at their best. Today, it's different. It ought not to be that way. And you mentioned the word, Angel, grace. Grace incorporates for me comfort, ease, and beauty. That's why casual has gone over to the dark side, but you can still have grace and be at your best self. And this is one of the elements that I'm attempting to share with women who really want to keep their signature style indelible to them, so they do have that comfort, that ease, and that grace without the casual going over to the dark side. So I love it. I really do.
Going over to the dark side.
So Joy, how do people connect with you, and where do you want them to go from here after hearing this?
Lovely. Thank you for that question. My name, I'm Ruffen, R-U-F-F as in Frank, E-N. Now everybody wants to put an I there, and they want to connect me with, before your time, I think, David Ruffen. Yet I'm not connected. I wish I were, because the voice was phenomenal. He was a singer with the Temptations. But it's Joy Ruffen. Yeah, joyruffen.com. Everything is on my website. You can go there and get a free booklet, which is all about how you can discover your signature style and stamp. And it's www.joyruffen.com. Easy, simple. You'll get your free booklet. And I'm tweaking it now, but there are a lot of things that I'm adding, but you'll be able also to go through and peruse and see what really the introduction to Joy Ruffen and what she's truly all about, which you're getting an inkling of here, but time only allows so much time.
Only so much. You've been so darling to come on with us this morning, Joy, to share your story. I remember my auntie, she would always take us to church. To Catholic church on Sundays. Like this was a big deal, and how we dressed. Like you were going to the house, like
you had to wear tights and gloves, and
showed up in your Sunday best.
Praise the Lord.
Yes, exactly. And is this how you would show up, right?
You better not act out.
Showed up, right? All gussied up, and but even at the end of a work day, right? First thing we do, we come home, right? Off go the shoes, all the stuff that's holding it up and squishing it in, right? It all has to be removed. And so we haven't had, nobody can see all of that. They don't see all that part. So there is a lot more grace. It'll be interesting to see what it's like when we get back out in the world again.
But here's the beauty, if I may end with this, ladies. Here is the beauty. Today, you can still go and praise the Lord and dress up and look your best and dress to the nines, but you can be comfortable and still be professional, a pro, and business-like, whatever your business-like style might be. You don't have to come home and drop everything. You can still stay in your element.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
I
beauty.
think that is like you can have it all, ladies. We can
Right.
have it all. We've been asking for it,
Well,
and we can have it all.
remember when we first started the pandemic, there was a meme going around saying that, ladies, do you find that when you get home, you're taking off your mask like you're taking off your bra?
Especially the bra.
Whoosh.
That's so true.
Well, we went out to dinner last night to a really fabulous restaurant here in Orlando, one of the resorts.
So many.
And the nice thing, Joy, because it is on Disney property, of course,
Yes.
you know, it is, even though it's a fabulous restaurant, it is pretty casual because people,
You can wear your Disney clothes there.
you can wear your Disney
Casual is
clothes.
everywhere.
You can wear your Disney clothes. So I wore, I got to wear my Disney shirt.
Only in Florida can you wear Disney clothes.
Everywhere, every day. Well, Tina and I are so excited, Joy, you came on and joined us here this morning. Is there anything else we want to make sure that we share before we say and kind of wrap up the show today?
Well, there is a lot to share, and my website will give you everything. I have my own TV show, and I'm / a producer. And so I'm always looking for people to interview and for them to share their journey, their story, their mission, their calling. Because for me, it's all about promoting and doing exactly what you do in a different way. Others who want to get more exposure and out into the stratosphere. I love presenting your story out into another arena, another circle, another tribe. That's what we're all doing in different ways. So I'm thanking you again and again for the invite. Again,
What's the name of your show?
My show is Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
That's for ladies only. And because I had so many men asking me if they could come on the show, I'm now doing Biz to Biz with Joy, grow your business in style. Because for me, it's all about style, not the fussy, prissy, proper style, but style. How do you show up? What are you exhibiting that's in the highest regard and respect of who you are?
Well, Joy, if you are looking for guests for your show, we have a fabulous Facebook group called Need a Guest, and you can post your request there. We've got, in fact, we just tipped over 400 members in that group of podcasters and people who have stages and who have events that are looking to fill their programs. And then, of course, Tina and I, we help fabulous guests, like some of the most amazing guests get booked on.
Speakers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this has been fun. And I think what a great conversation, and everybody can relate to. All of fashion has definitely changed and how we dress and how we show up, but we can still show up excellent, and we can still show up and shine our brightest and feel really good about who we are every single day. And one of the things about this morning show is it has been my reason sometimes to get out of bed. Yes. To get up and to get dressed, to have something to show up for, that people are counting on me. And so I want to say thank you to our audience who follows us, who watches, to our guests who commit to being here, to being the bright start to the day, our sponsors who came alongside to partner with us, our digital streaming platforms that feature us. I think we all need like that little something that reminds us that it's bigger than me. Right. And I might not feel like it, but there's something out there, and it's bigger than me. So I'm excited. Media Mastery Bootcamp is this weekend. You can get and bring a friend. I've got a promo ticket for you guys, promo code you can use to bring a friend, but just get started, right? Like Joy was saying, it's all about exposure. Visibility is the key to growing your business. And we teach how to create more exposure using OPA, other people's audiences, other magazines, podcasts, stories, radio, television, podcasts, press releases, all of it. And we've got a complimentary media starter kit. You can grab that at my website, makeyourbigimpact.com. That's makeyourbigimpact.com, and plug in. We've got tools and resources, and we've created an incredible community, just like Joy, right, who is looking for guests and expanding her storyline to even more audiences. It's going to be an amazing 2021, and it's already off to an amazing start.
It sure is. And I am so looking forward to Media Mastery. I learned something. I think this will be my 5th one. I learned something every single time I take away, and I'm like, oh, I can do that. And then I launch it. Like right away. I'm like, no, there's nothing barred. I am Tina Torres, your client retention expert, otherwise known as the gratitude specialist. And if you're struggling with attracting the right clients, knowing how to connect to them, or even if you just don't know how to convert them into clients, I have a complimentary guide that I hope you grow your audience organically, online and offline, connect and nurture those relationships authentically, and then take those relationships and turn them into paying clients. You can grab that guide if you text the word connection to 26786. That is the word connection to 26786. And of course, we can still get the Beyond Gratitude book for only $5 on Amazon. Go to beyondgratitudebook.com, beyondgratitudebook.com. We are so thankful for you, our audience, for being loyal fans. We are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, where we come to you live every weekday morning at 11 a.m. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great Monday, guys.